absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Monday, March 31st. Sorry, we are coming at you a day later. We're in a mourning period. I mean, I'm not going to run and hide from it. Whatever happens to Auburn or Florida on next weekend, I can't laugh at them because they made it farther. It is what it is. Some fans can't understand that, and that's okay. Not everyone can be intelligent. It is what it is. At least they didn't knock us out of the tournament. How devastating would it be to be beaten by your rival in the biggest tournament that you're apparently just your God's gift to this earth in?
That's true. Yeah. I couldn't imagine losing to a team like that and then 2 days later having a victory lap after they lose to somebody else.
I would like to make it clear I knew that would happen if we lost. I said that on Thursday. I knew it would happen. Tennessee could have won a national championship and they would still say, well, you don't have this many. How do I know? Because they did it in baseball. Mm-hmm. Not those fans, because they wouldn't know success in baseball, but other opposing fans in the SEC. So it is devastating. It hurts. Sunday hurts. But not for that reason. I couldn't care less. Let them. Yeah, I mean, they all say that one guy's the worst part of their fan base. Well, then why are they all acting like him?
Yeah. I love the nobody has their own profile picture. I know that was a topic of discussion today in Vol Twitter. I don't know, just be yourself.
Their self is worse than whatever they're presenting online. That's the better part of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Please don't be yourself. Just don't be. Just
don't be, period.
Yeah. Do with that what you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't to try to, because it doesn't make me feel better. I want to be clear about that with this next statement. But on Saturday, we were talking about it, me and a buddy, and I said, I really don't know what to think about tomorrow. This team's been so inconsistent all year. I don't think we'll get a game like we got the other night. They played two pretty good games in the tournament before then. They played pretty good in the SEC tournament. Like it just feels like we're due at the worst time. And I didn't know it was going to be that bad. I was not expecting that, but I was like, has this team finally figured it out? I can't trust them yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just one of those things that I couldn't. I know a lot of people were talking about, they get you kind of right where they want you. I just myself wasn't ready. Now it was heartbreaking to see us kind of not even give ourselves a chance with the way we shot in the first half. And I say that not as like a knock on any of these guys. I feel like that's not. They couldn't hit anything. It is what it is. Like unfortunately, that has been the case with this team.
Yeah.
And you really took yourself out of it the way you shot in the first half, unfortunately. Like it never, even when you were clawing back in the second half, I mean, hats off. Like that's an easy opportunity to roll over.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't, but it just never felt like they were really in a position to actually have a chance in the second half.
Yeah, you just couldn't get on a run in the second half. Like every time you scored a couple points back to back, it seemed like Houston was always there to answer. And it is a weird feeling today. Like I think what you're talking about, a lot of people kind of felt that way. Is like I know at some point this team is going to get in its own way.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it was in that moment, but I don't know. I don't know really what you make of it. They just didn't shoot well. And they shot like all time bad. I mean, 15 points in the first half of an Elite Eight game is all time bad.
Literally, it set a record. It's all time bad.
But at the same time, I didn't think this team, like before the SEC tournament, I didn't think this team was going to the Elite Eight.
I didn't think they were going to. I mean, I didn't. I thought the Elite Eight was possible. I thought getting out of the first weekend was possible, and then Sweet 16, kind of see how it all equals out. Like, where are you at? I in that same vein though, and I think everybody thought this wasn't a championship team, but I think the thing that you thought they could go farther was until of late, nobody really looked like a championship team. Auburn looked like the best team in basketball, but I mean, they just you almost knocked them off on the road. They had plenty of other places they got tripped up. Duke, Florida have kind of looked there all year, and then late in the season they really put it on, and now they look like the best teams in basketball. But going into March, it was kind of like get there and see what happens. And I mean, Tennessee tried their best. I thought Houston would be at least like a good matchup in terms of they do what you do. Can you do it better than them that night? So it does feel like if not, I think I saw someone post something similar to this, like if not now, when? Which just some comments I heard at halftime in the volunteer reaction. Someone said, we traded 26 win seasons for Final Fours. The term trade would imply that we either had it or could have had it. With what coach did we have it? Because Tennessee, I'm sure we've all remembered it. We've all been reminded of it, has 0. And what coach who do you hire in 2016 that could have had it, Landon? So that's not to say Rick Barnes isn't the guy. We didn't trade that. We hired the best candidate available to Tennessee. There was another awesome comment I heard that I want to share. What was the other one? I'm sure you've seen some great stuff too.
Yeah.
There's just been some wild ones.
I mean,
here's
Zekai gonna work at Waffle House after.
Yeah, that's okay. First off, Knoxville would never let him, unless he wanted to. If he wants to, it's all good. Go do it.
He would have the best selling Waffle House in history. So
another person was angry that Rick Barnes recruited Lanier and said he should have never brought him because he's not Dalton Connect. That same caller also mentioned Dalton Connect being earlier. He was frustrated with him last year with a once in a generation player. That same person said that, followed it up with should not have recruited him because he's not Dalton Connect. So I don't know if he understands what a once in a generation player is, but it would imply that you're not going to get one for at least another generation. So just some wild takes out there. And last year was disappointing too. For, a multitude of reasons as well.
Is that not like everybody? I agree. Like at some point, you just want to get there. You just want to get there this year those stupid banners that say 0 Final Fours or whatever can just quit.
They won't.
I hate them.
They won't. That's the thing. And I think that people just have to accept that because I think that does get to everybody. And it gets to me. It's very annoying. It's also very annoying for someone who hasn't sniffed success in more than 10 years now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like, it's not like Tennessee's a blue blood in basketball.
Right.
It's not like we're this all-time great team. Like, I mean, it's been more of a recent success. Yeah, they were good under Bruce Pearl for a little bit. But I mean, it's not like this team has just been a powerhouse forever.
Right.
like Kentucky. Sorry. I mean, you have guys like, look at this Kentucky team. Like Rupp would love this team. I was like, I mean, yeah, he would love those two guys that are sitting on the bench that are white from Kentucky. Yeah, he would absolutely love those guys.
And they had some guys that played this year that were white.
Yeah.
Give them a break.
I don't know. It just sucks because one team wins it and everybody else is kind of like the same way that we are right now, just in mourning over March Madness.
What could have been. And I mean, there's no way to slice it. I'll defend Rick Barnes if those of you would like me to. I'll also I don't know exactly how to. The only criticism you can have in terms of this, like what happened Sunday, what happened yesterday, is his teams always have a night like that in the worst times, or they just always have. So, but I need a basketball head, someone to, other than go, they always have them. Okay, why? What is the cause? What is Rick Barnes doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not willing to say it's not his fault because I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand how a team can shoot so cold. Shoot 17% from 3-point range when the last 3 games they've shot well from 3.
Yeah. And it's not like it's everybody. Jordan Gainey was 2 for 5. Like he was 6 for 12 from the floor. He could find the rim. It wasn't like it was just everybody. It was, I guess it was everybody except for Jordan
everybody else.
Gainey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I'm with you. I wish somebody could tell us exactly what is the key element to this thing. Is it just not having guys that can get to the rim? Is that all it is? Because if that's
but
all,
it's
I know
also
to
frustrating because Chaz can get there at times and he didn't always attempt to. Mm-hmm. We've seen Igor do it, yet he struggles mightily in March. I mean,
is that the biggest head scratching thing of
happened?
The season? Of just like, yeah, what happened to Igor?
Yeah. It was, head scratching is really, he looks like a vastly different basketball player. I mean, if you told me he was concussed for all of February, March, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just I couldn't catch. Not that he didn't make dumb mistakes and dumb fouls when he was playing well, but a lot of dumb fouls. I mean, yesterday couldn't grab a rebound.
He just looks like he plays concussed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably true. And then
you see Dubar behind everybody else.
You see Dubar go out there, put in some good minutes, but he can't hit a shot.
Yeah.
He's not played as much as Igor and doesn't really necessarily give you a better chance than Igor. So where do you go from that? And then you go small, and that's a lengthy team. They're tough to guard, and you got to stop him from scoring at some point. You got to try to stop him from scoring at some point. I am disappointed with the way Tennessee rebounded against Kentucky and then rebounded against Houston. Now in the second half, when they did start to claw back, they did better getting second chance points. They did better taking away second chance points. But that first half, failing to challenge them on the boards really hurt you. I mean, that's where they just really stood on Tennessee's grave was on the boards.
And you had size on them. Their tallest guy is 6'8". I know they have some length and they have the wingspans that are like 7 foot, but that should have been a one where Tennessee wins that battle.
It's so frustrating because we try that tip out crap all the time and it doesn't work for us. And I'm glad we've finally gotten away from it. And then we get abused by it. We get abused by them just beating us to the ball, they're getting the, I guess, third chance at that point, and we can't. It was incredibly frustrating for that to be where you were getting beat. And then they're able, I mean, finally you force some turnovers. Getting a 10-second call in March is pretty electric. That was fun. Almost got 2 back to back, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That is another thing too, is when Tennessee was again close, like they were right on the cusp of being back in it. A lot of balls did not bounce your way. Zakai Gainey really close to making a steal. Houston's able to pick it up, swing it all the way across the court, and there's a guy wide open because they went all out for a steal. Plays like that happened a couple times. It's like that would hurt a lot less if this was a 3-point game.
Yeah.
Not a 10, 12-point game.
I mean, one of your seniors, veterans on this team was 0 for 4 from the free throw line. He also gave Houston another or we gave Houston another shot because of a lane violation. And then
we wiped off one of ours.
Oh, we wiped off
a
one
made
of ours.
free throw.
Yeah. So Meshack might have been -1 on the day with his 4 points,
which is unfortunate.
Just because he's a 70% free throw shooter, 0 for 4, and then has a lane violation.
And there was just something about those early ones. He missed 2 early on. I think we were down like 6-0. That was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, then you had Chaz. You had Chaz like forcing threes to be like, hey, man, one's got to go in.
Which I understand the thought process.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I kind of thought the same thing. Can't lie.
Yeah. I don't know. Just all around like bad day and dug yourself in a hole. 0 for 4. Like I said, 0 for 14 from 3 at one point. You had 15 points in the first half. The fact that it was like you didn't lay down, I think says a lot about this program.
And it's just,
but it just
matter for that game. Like it's win or go home.
It
matters in the grand scheme, but like obviously for the season, the game's over.
Right.
As a fan and as an undying fan, as a guy who puts Zakai Ziegler as his number one volunteer, like that dude was going to go out swinging, and he did. There was never a doubt in my mind that he was going to go out swinging, and he proved me right. Really unfortunate ending to his career. Again, is there an ending that isn't unfortunate? Like, obviously, he has to win a national championship for it to be as happy as that's what he deserves. I mean, that's what a guy like that deserves. And it's just that things don't. It's real life. It doesn't work out that way. It is, as much as it's sports and it's kind of I guess like a getaway from real life. It's not a script. It's not a movie.
Mm-hmm.
When we write Zakai Ziegler's biopic, we can make him win a national championship. Disney screws with that stuff all the time, so we can do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, the hate we'd get from Kentucky fans. I think it's worth doing it.
I mean, that picture of him flipping off the logo is all time.
Yeah.
And then you play them right after, because at that point you didn't know you were going to play Kentucky.
Right. There's one more game to decide that.
Yeah. And so you that happens, and then
did we not? So Kentucky hadn't played yet?
No, I don't think so. They played later that night, Illinois. But you're in Rupp.
Yeah,
and it's days before the game. Like you did it, and then to have the performance he had against Kentucky right after that, was great. I just wish like that was it. Like we just finished there. It was over.
The season's at COVID. Why didn't we get another string of COVID coming?
It very much felt like a Friday Night Lights. Like, I mean, it was like, all right, here we are.
Yeah, the semifinal turns out it was the biggest game.
Yeah, I think this is Purdue's fault. If they end up winning that game against Houston, the revenge tour is back on.
That would have helped us because I mean this Final Four is chalk, and that would have been closer to chalk than Purdue. We didn't know at the time that we had that going against us either. Auburn had to win later on that night, but it's all chalk. We were fighting destiny and fate, and also our shooting struggles and our rebounding struggles. We fought a lot, too much to fight. Some would argue. I don't know. It just sucks. beating Kentucky doesn't make me happier about what happened last night. It doesn't make this. It's the same debate about being happy about a season. And there's fans that'll crucify you for being happy about a season. And I'm not ready to reflect on the season. I just don't care at the moment. But I'm also not going to paint it as a failure either because of what happened Sunday.
Yeah. But I still don't understand how Kentucky is just all over Tennessee when.
I haven't even texted Austin yet. Have you?
No, he did drop some stuff off at my house today for us.
Okay. I thought about texting him after we lost yesterday and just being like, we're all on the couch now, but I thought I'd wait.
I mean, the rivalry's over. It's done.
Until we meet again in the tournament. Regular seasons don't matter. I mean, that's the best part is that we're pulling out regular season wins. It's like, can we keep anything straight?
Yeah, I thought you only cared about Final Fours.
Yeah.
Hence the tournament.
I don't know, man. You can't win with those idiots. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you don't get the irony on Sunday hate watching, which, by the way, the only way I'm watching Kentucky basketball not play Tennessee is if it's the national championship, because I'm always going to watch the national championship.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's our favorite. They would rather Tennessee lose than Kentucky win. That is 100%.
I will. Well, I mean, they want to brag to all their family because they're all Vols, like they're Vol football fans.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to have a one up when. Oh my gosh, man, it's insane. I would like to note to Kentucky fans, I'm cheering against Mark Pope only because of you all.
Mark Poop,
good guy. I will cheer for him anywhere else he goes. I hope he fails miserably there, and I hope you all hate him afterwards.
Like Cal?
Yeah. Cal made it farther. No,
same, right?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, same.
Dang it. That would have been awesome. Should have made it farther. That was a pretty epic blow up there at the end.
Yeah.
For that Texas Tech game. It almost really sucked for Kentucky and Mark Pope. BYU not almost made it farther, but poor BYU, man. They're being taken. I love all the tweets that are just like, did they even study film? Did they look at a scouting report? I don't love it. I feel bad for him a little bit. I don't know. How do we feel about BYU? Do we hate them because of football in 2019 or?
I kind of don't have any.
Yeah, I don't have any
thoughts about BYU other than soaking.
Yeah. So we'll feel bad for him.
Their mascot's pretty cool. Sometimes he does some cool dances.
Their mascot's pretty sweet. I would say most of the time he's doing something cool.
Yeah. Other than that, don't really have a opinion.
Great city. Well, cool looking city.
Yeah. They're not really relevant in anything for me to really care.
It is, people talk about teams to root for or teams that make football, basketball, baseball, whatever more fun. BYU, I think, is a team. I don't know if they will be in the Big 12, but I would say historically football is more fun when they're relevant.
Yeah.
Like when they're beating teams that they're not supposed to beat. I don't know if that'll exist now that they're a Power 4 team.
I did think about the other day, did we trade the loss to Houston for Ross Kivett? Did we lose that trade or win that trade?
We lost that trade. I mean, golly. Ooh. We should get his thoughts.
Here's the thing. Duke is a machine. So whoever won that game, I think, is getting whooped by Duke, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, probably that's a big team. That's a good basketball team.
Yeah, and they got a big who, we don't have anybody that can guard Cooper Flagg.
That was the game Igor was waiting on, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it's flipped. I mean, I thought 2 weeks ago, and it carried into a little bit of the first two rounds. I was like, yeah, Florida's the best team. And now that's entirely flipped. I still think I hope we get a Florida Duke game. I think that would be a very good national championship game. I'm sure
with Duke winning.
Duke Auburn would be as well.
With Duke
I
winning.
would rather Duke win than either of those teams.
Yeah.
I would also be okay with Duke not having another basketball national championship. I'd be okay with it. I would.
So we're going for Houston.
Oh, out of the 4 teams left, give me Houston. Give me the Cougs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I think our boy Brody wins big in that DraftKings pool if Houston wins it. So.
Wow. Okay. He's up there?
Yeah. I think he just needs them to win, and I think he's in the money. Me and Dylan had a sweat on Saturday. Didn't win it, but it was an all-time great sweat. We're live betting Tennessee, Kentucky. We live bet Kentucky plus 13.5.
Okay.
And then we live bet Michigan State to win. And then we had Purdue beating Houston. And it was like 25 to win like 330. And hit 2, and then Purdue, we had another sweat, and they couldn't get it done for us. But just a great ride with the boys, you know.
We got a really good bracket left in the more important issues. 1. Is that Dylan's mom, Maddie Ice?
No, that's not Dylan's mom.
Okay. Where is she? What's her name on here?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they've got a 99.7% right now. Their max is 1770. They've got Auburn winning it all. And they do have, I mean, unfortunately, it was pretty easy to get a perfect Final Four this year. A lot of sorority girls have a perfect Final Four this year, which I'm excited for them. Need one. I mean, it was almost if it wasn't for St. John's, and it would have been a chalk Elite 8 too.
Yeah.
Which is wild. It was that was a fun weekend of basketball outside of I didn't watch the Auburn game. I almost didn't finish the Tennessee game. I talked about turning it off several times. But I watched to the end, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was like you kind of knew after at halftime, you're like, man, this is over. But there was something that just kept you.
It had nothing to do with their play. It had nothing to do with how they were playing.
Just a little hope. Yeah.
It was a naive Tennessee fan in me. That thought maybe there was a chance. I'll tell you what, Landon. On Friday, I knew Tennessee was not going to win that game. Clay Travis posted that he was going to San Antonio. He bought his ticket. That is not what made me think it. He then tweeted moments later, bragging that the ticket was refundable. Why even buy it? Or why say it? I think if he doesn't say it, Tennessee has a better chance in that game. You can make it refundable. You just don't say a word about it. Don't brag about it.
Yeah.
I bought a ticket to Phoenix in 2022. Not fully refundable, but I got, what would that be called? Credit. I got a credit back. I didn't tell anyone until after it was over. I just want to look like I was okay looking like an idiot if we didn't go. We didn't go.
That's one thing that makes me feel a little bit better, that I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't go. I would be in shambles today.
I would have spent, yeah. Especially it being a Sunday.
I mean, poor William from Fox Sports. I mean,
oh, did he trek up there?
He was talking about not going, and then he made the trip.
Just for Sunday?
I think so.
Friday too.
I think he was just there for Sunday.
Oh, poor dude.
Yeah. Which at that point, If you don't go see them play against Kentucky, I think I'd rather just go to San Antonio, right?
Yeah, but I mean that trip's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah,
there,
probably
you don't
take
want to
it.
just go for the Final Four game. If they win it, you want to stay. And
Yeah, I get
I don't
that.
know. I mean, that's what I was talking about on Saturday. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'd like to go if we make it to San Antonio.
We just need to
I don't
go
know if
to
I
a
will.
first round game and come home.
We don't just need to go to any games. That's the solution.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Can I give a most important real quick?
Yeah,
Some
sure.
good news.
Yeah, this
We've
is your
been
show,
talking
man.
about our away trip that we need to take
Mhm.
this year. I found it. I found our away trip. Coastal Carolina. Did you see? Do you know why it could be Coastal Carolina? You've
No.
seen the news. Free concession stands. All you can eat when you go to see the Chanticleers play in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Can you imagine the hot dog reviews?
Oh, I'm in.
Let's do it. Let's get
I'll miss a home game.
let's get a condo, not on the beach, just like a block off the beach in Dirty Myrtle for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'll trek down. Dude, we'll wear flip-flops to the game. I know my boy Wes is in.
Flip flops and jeans, baby.
I mean,
Dude.
why even tailgate for that? You shouldn't.
I think we missed a tailgate for it.
I mean, like, but for the game, like a tailgate and like eating before you go in is kind of.
I'm talking about we missed a Tennessee tailgate for it.
Yeah, for sure. I just mean we don't need to tailgate. We got free food in the stadium.
Yeah.
Danny
Depending
White
on what
would
time the
never.
game is, if they have a noon game, we have a night game, we could basically do that, maybe leave around the third quarter and head back to Knoxville.
I think we missed the start of the Tennessee game. We got to get our fill, man. We got to get our money's worth.
I mean, what money?
Well, we got to buy the ticket.
Well, how much is a ticket?
See, I feel like they're going to have to be.
I'll say
still,
one thing: if it's all you
$50?
can eat, they're losing money on me.
No, yeah, you can't. You can't go to Golden Corral and feel like you lost.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to pay that $18 or whatever it is.
But you're gonna pay
gotta
for
earn
it like on the toilet later or tomorrow. You're gonna feel awful. But
Yeah,
like,
you don't let them win.
exactly. Yeah.
Someone else can win, not them.
Yeah.
What's their home schedule?
Free concession stand. Danny White would never.
Dude, Danny White's having an aneurysm thinking about it. Like he's like, they're doing what?
I think Danny White is increasing prices just
Make up for
because
it?
he's having anxiety over that.
Yeah.
He's probably sent another email about donating today just because of it.
All right. I think we have two options, I think. If Carolina's good, they play Georgia State November 8th. That could be a revenge tour type deal. We could spin it that way. They also we could go in opposing colors, Landon. They play James Madison November 29th.
I'm wearing orange.
Yeah, I mean, we can wear orange, but we got to get like a Duke's hat or something. Tickets as low as $65 right now. Dude, people might be like buying tickets just because of the news. Why else would a James Madison versus Coastal Carolina on November 29th?
Is that on a Tuesday? Are they doing
No,
these on
Saturday.
a Tuesday?
No, that's a Saturday.
We should do one on like a action game.
Yeah, they're not in the MAC. But
I know. But they play some games like on a Thursday or something.
They do
right?
have some Thursday games, yeah. They've got two this year. Maybe just one. They play Marshall Thursday, October 30th. That is a home game.
We are.
I feel like we wouldn't get the full experience on a Thursday.
Yeah. Yes, we will. The concession stand is free. What else do you want?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. How much beer do you think surely they sell beer there?
Is it free?
No chance.
I was about to
That
say.
would be a riot. Literally, there would be riots. No, I think we got to go to a game this year. We're not going to a Tennessee away game. We've established that. I think we go to Coastal. Because they're not going to do it next year. There's no way.
Yeah, they lose too much money. They're going to think they're going to be like, okay, these people are going to renew. We got them.
Yeah.
And then no one renews. And then they have to do it. They'll do it again like in 2 years. But
Yeah.
they won't do it next year.
But I don't want to go in 2 years. I want to go now. I want to go when it's chaotic. Honestly, kind of want to go for the home opener September 6th. Probably going to be too hot for me. So I think we go later in the year.
Yeah, it's going to be warm.
Yeah, I think we go in October, November. And Wes can wear his jeans with flip-flops. That makes perfect sense that time.
There you go. Got that man to Broadway this weekend. Have a little funny story for our boy Wes, who turned 30. So
Congrats, getting old.
Yep, getting old. Yep. We ate real quick at the assembly food hall, and I think he had a burger. I had a Philly cheesesteak that was gas.
What was that? $30?
No, like it was like with fries. I think it was $13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. But then like we got to the next bar, my man was hurting. Like he was feeling rough. He's like, dude, I think I need to go throw up. I'm like, well, hey man, go do your thing. I'm not gonna go with you, but good luck. And dude, he comes back and his eyes are bloodshot red. He looks like he's been crying. You know how you like when you're like hacking and you know your whole face is red? Like he just looked like
I don't think I've ever seen like bloodshot. That's crazy.
Yeah, he looked rough.
Jeez. Puked?
He's like, dude, I went in there. There's piss all over the toilet seat.
I'm sure.
He's like, it was disgusting. So I looked straight in that nasty toilet, and I was just gonna make myself throw up. He said he had 2 fingers just freaking punching his hangy ball in the back.
How do people do that?
Just
and he never threw up?
He said he couldn't. He said he did it for a little bit. He said,
dude, I could do that.
Gagging, and then finally somebody walked in on him and he acted like nothing happened and walked back out.
Jesus Christ. If I did that right now, I'd puke. What?
I have no clue.
Man doesn't have a gag reflex.
A little stage fright, I guess. I don't know.
Golly.
But yeah, I just picture, imagine walking in on somebody and they're just, knuckles deep in the back of their throat trying to yak.
Yeah, that's. Did you get a daddy dog?
Huh?
Did you get a daddy dog?
No, we ordered Taco Bell when we got back.
Jesus Christ.
And it was delicious.
How'd you not get a daddy dog? Come on, man.
I didn't really know where they're at.
And I wasn't on the street.
Yeah, I wasn't in a state to go look for them either.
You don't have to. They're just on Broadway.
There's like, where there used to be hot dog vendors, now they're like dispensaries.
Like hot dog dispensaries or weed dispensaries?
Like weed dispensaries.
Is that legal in Tennessee?
Or like, I don't know, whatever.
Delta 8? Like,
yeah, whatever that stuff.
The daddy's dog is like a tent. It's a vendor. It's just out there on Broadway.
Yeah, there was a lot of them that were not. Like, I remember seeing those when we went a few times, but I might have seen like one walking down there.
Well, even more reason to not go to Broadway.
Yeah.
That daddy's dog is gone. Yeah. Very sad day. Rip in peace, Sweet Prince.
Yep. You want to put a bow on basketball season? We do have a question about basketball. So I'll just go ahead and get to these so we can get this over with. Besides Sunday, what was the biggest disappointment this basketball season?
The inconsistency. And really just throughout SEC play. This team obviously had a ton of potential. I think Sunday is really all it is. Like what more can you ask when the league's as tough as it is? You competed throughout. You played in the SEC championship game in Nashville, and I think it's Sunday. Yeah, that's the one that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like depth, like that. It just felt like that was kind of always a problem and maybe led into a little bit of the inconsistencies. And you knew from the get-go, like, we don't have enough. When JP left, when Cam Carr left, when Tennessee was number one, which is still might be
JP got injured. Let's not put those two in the same category.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you don't have those two for the rest of the season. But
just different ways of leaving. That's
the Cam Carr leaving when you're number one in the country is literally the most insane decision I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like we filmed LeBron's decision to go to Miami. I mean, let's film something as dumb as a bench player in the middle of the season when your team's number one and you're getting playing time. Be like, you know what? This ain't for me anymore. I'm out. But I'm not going to play basketball.
Have fun at Baylor, I guess. I mean, who knows if he is enrolled and on the team at Baylor next year? Like, who knows?
And then I think what we talked about earlier, the flip of Igor.
Yeah.
Because I think with Igor playing the way that, I mean, Estrella takes his, hopefully he would take his spot at some point, but you just didn't have the guys to replace him. I mean, Cade is a spark plug sometimes, but he's also a foul machine.
Yeah.
And Igor does help you a little bit because he can dribble the basketball at times, but there's times that he can't catch it. So
that was the inability to hang on to the ball was the most baffling.
Biggest surprise this season.
The biggest, I mean, and this is going to sound like a knock at first, but I mean, it's Jordan Gainey. I knew he'd be a role guy at least on this team. I didn't imagine that he would be what he was. I mean, the guy throughout the NCAA tournament, but a huge piece. And I get the calls for him to be a starter throughout the year because he earned that right. And I mean that. The way he crafted his game this offseason to be the defensive player that he was, and then to add a few things to his arsenal on the offensive end, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I agree. It's Jordan Gainey. I mean, he was a guy, I think, a little bit like Igor. Like, people were definitely frustrated with him last year, but I think he was definitely the most improved basketball player on this team. I thought he played really well. I'd love to have another season with him. It sucks that you don't get that opportunity, but yeah, really good for a guy who, like, there's at times a lot of people are like, he doesn't belong.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about Tennessee this entire season is it felt like we weren't like one of the best teams, but like our resume said otherwise. Like, we competed with everybody.
I think that's just where the inconsistency fell, is that it didn't feel like it, and then you go back and look, and like, oh, I mean, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very tough.
And then what positions does Tennessee need in the portal?
All. I mean, literally all.
I mean, our team next year, the way it looks, it's just like, yikes.
There's not a position Tennessee would not benefit from in the portal.
I think they're definitely better off down low than they are. I mean,
yes,
you have zero guards besides.
We'd really benefit from the NCAA granting a fifth year to everyone.
Yeah.
That's where we would benefit the most.
Agreed. Yeah, because you have Cade, Estrella, Agpara, Boswell. That's it. And then you have the freshmen coming in. Henderson. Who else do you have? Dwayne Brown. And Amari Evans. So, yeah, definitely needs some. I mean, you're going to be heavy in the portal. You have Isaac McNeely from Virginia, I think, on campus today. He was a shooting guard at Virginia, averaged 14.4 points per game. shot 43.9% from field goal. I think he's 42.1 from three. So just a really good shooter. I think he scored 6 points against Tennessee this year. Tennessee kind of shut him down. He was 1 for 6 from the field against Tennessee. I had some big games in the ACC. Put up 12 against Florida. And then did you see where Jacoby Gillespie entered the portal?
Yeah. Which, I mean, gotta imagine Tennessee's going to try with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know where they'll be when
you,
everything kind of starts to settle, but
yeah. That's when you definitely kind of go after. He averaged 14.7 points per game at Maryland, 4.8 assists. I think that could be your point guard next year if everything kind of falls into place. He had 17 in their loss to Florida in the Sweet 16 was really good against them. 2 steals, but 17 points, that's going to play.
yeah. I'm curious what, I mean, Rick Barnes has been so defined, even when his teams have like slightly changed and adjusted, adapted, like they've been defined as this tough defensive team that I think that's going to be tough to do with only portal guys. Obviously, this team was very portal heavy, but 2 of your strongholds were guys that have been here 4 years. I mean, you're part of your winningest seasons in program history. So,
yeah, going to be
I'm
interesting
interested
to see how adjusts to that because that's not an easy adjustment to make.
Right.
I mean, Mark Poop did okay with bringing in guys from the portal and making it into something decent, but I don't think you see a ton of that. Usually your best teams are guys that you've had in the program for a couple of years. I mean, Florida, they've had their guys for a few years, like Condon. Walter Clayton's been there for 2 years. Broom's been at Auburn for a little bit. But yeah, I think it's just different in college basketball now. Like you're not going to see very many Zakai and Jamais anymore.
Right. No, it's going to be fewer and far between.
Yeah. So I think the guys of you falling in love with and guys breaking records, like score records and stuff, I just don't know if you see much of that anymore.
Right.
And then like high school recruiting so different too. It's like, I mean, why spend so much money on a 5-star recruit that may or may not play? Like, yeah, you hope they play, but would you rather get a portal guy that averaged 15 points per game at Maryland that was a Sweet 16 team than a 5-star point guard? I don't know. Maybe. I think there's definitely less risk with the portal guys.
Right, and I think this is a sport that is going to get more crushed by the transfer portal than football with so many scholarships. Baseball with more room, obviously the scholarships are a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also kind of the lay of the land with everybody. It's basketball, but it is going to 15, so maybe that will help it some. But at the same time, if you can go get your guys out of the portal, it's usually going to translate to more immediate success. At least that's the way it's looking across the country right now. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But obviously Tennessee has to hit the portal hard this year. They don't have a choice. Do they go get guys that'll be here for more than a year? Like, is that a focus of theirs? Obviously, it won't be the only thing they go after, but maybe that's a focus.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
That's one thing is like, I mean, what do you – I mean, there's an abundance of players. Like, what players do you just pinpoint immediately? Like, as soon as they get in there, you get on a phone call and be like, hey, come on a visit. Like, what type of players is Tennessee wanting to get? Obviously, they're looking for guards. I mean, that's evident with the kid from Virginia. I assume Jacoby Gillespie will at least get a phone call, and we'll see if he visits. Like, do you go after a big guy? Because then you kind of – or maybe like a stretch 4 that can shoot a little bit. I don't know. What do you see in Estrella? Like, do you think he can be that?
I mean,
Igor
I think
type?
I think he's more of a Cade, another Cade. Maybe he'll surprise me and can shoot the ball better, but I don't see that from him. I don't see him being able to put the ball on the floor and go by people. But how many fours exist like that out in the world?
Right, but the only thing we have to go off of was his freshman year. Like,
right,
I don't know.
No, we don't know.
Like, you know what Cade gave you this year, but you don't know what JP could have done.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that leaves what, 6 spots? You think Tennessee will get 6 guys in the portal?
I think they have to. You have to go try. That's where I think the more maybe you find guys with more than a year is in those later parts to fill the roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know if fun's the right word, but it's going to be interesting to
I don't think
watch over the next couple weeks of who gets on campus, who does Tennessee target in the portal, and then after that, it's like, how does this team mesh together? Like you mentioned, the defense, that takes a while to just kind of trust everybody on the floor. Like, it just doesn't come together overnight. So, and then you have guys where, they might be good in the portal. They might get here and be terrible. I mean, the Cade Tyson kid that went to North Carolina, he was great at Belmont, one of the best players in the portal, averaged like 2 points per game.
Right. I think Duvar's a good at similar example along that same line.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It also kind of stinks that you had the portal open like 2 weeks ago or like a week ago and teams are still playing in the tournament. Why can't we just wait till after the tournament?
Because they're students and they got to get enrolled in classes, Landon. Come on. I mean, they're student athletes. Student first.
It's so dumb to me. Like they would have to enroll like when? In
it would be
the summer?
I would think, yeah. I don't get it. Don't understand it.
Yeah. I wonder why we didn't go after Jacoby Gillespie. Was it just because he was a point guard? We had Gainey and Zakai?
I have no idea.
Or maybe we were just like, hey, can you prove it at another school first?
That's kind of the beauty of the transfer portal. If you see someone you like, chances are they're going to come back around in a year, maybe 2, and you can recruit them again if you need to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part. I have no idea. This basketball season, obviously coming up at this moment, looks bleak. That can get turned on its head really quickly.
That is what happened. His coach did leave for Villanova, so I guess that has a big part in him entering this year. But who says to say that he wasn't going to enter anyway?
Yeah, you can leave for any reason now.
Right.
You can't leave until the portal opens, but you can leave for any reason.
Well, it doesn't. The portal doesn't even have to be open for camp.
Well, you can't you can't transfer until the portal opens. You can leave whenever you want. Take your ball and go home whenever you like, but you can't. Yeah, I mean, we were 2-guard heavy until we aren't, which is kind of the thing with the transfer portal.
Yeah. Also, who's the leader next year?
I mean, maybe it's Akpara just seems too soft spoken. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's Estrella, but we just don't know. We haven't really seen him enough on the court. Maybe it's Cade. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bishop Boswell takes a massive step forward being in the program an extra year than pretty much everyone else on the roster will have been.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll at least know how to practice.
Yeah. That's the thing is we're definitely going to get heavy doses of him early on, no matter what.
Yeah.
And with Rick Barnes, I would almost guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interested to see how he develops. Because, like, you saw some flashes, but there was times you're just like, man, you are out of place.
Yeah.
And it's weird because that, like, there's some guys that just, like, they get on campus and they're immediately, like, Zakai played as a freshman. Kenny Chandler played as a freshman. Like,
he'll play you if you're ready as a freshman. Or if
yeah.
he thinks you're ready as a freshman. Hopefully there's a prolific scorer out there that we haven't heard about in the portal yet.
Yeah, neat. Who wants to win newcomer of the year? That's who we're going to target in the portal.
Yes. Bingo.
3 years in a row.
All right.
I mean,
Anything else for
basketball season
basketball
is a
before we-
grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind. Because you have like games that matter. You know, baseball has games in the midweek that don't really matter. But you have games like throughout the week, on the weekends, like it is a lot.
And they have 2 extra games on the weekend, obviously, but it all kind of runs together and feels like, unless you're going to them, they all kind of feel like the same game. Like you're not, and it's just an easier sport to kind of watch on the go, like if you're doing something on Sunday or whatever. So it doesn't feel like as much. It feels like more of a grind once you get to like late May. Then it really sets in how much of a grind baseball is.
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, obviously, not as a player. I imagine that's set in right about now.
Yeah. Yeah, SEC play is definitely a grind. So Alabama landed a 7-footer. Damn.
Good for them.
He is ugly.
They just land him? Did they just land him?
Yeah. He was a 7-footer from Bucknell, the Patriot League Player of the Year.
Good for him, I guess.
He's wearing a ring in the picture, like an Alabama ring.
For what?
They win like a conference championship or something? I don't remember.
Maybe in... They win it last year?
Brandon Miller was there?
Yeah, I guess they won it.
Yeah, they win it last year.
I guess so. It was easy to not care about the SEC tournament last year. Yeah, I think they did. Good for them. Wonder when they start hearing the NATOs can't win anything. Comments.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move away from basketball. I've won, and I've been successful not talking about it much since it ended yesterday. So that's been nice.
Who do you got winning the whole thing? You got Duke, or you got Florida?
I've had Florida since the SEC tournament, and as of right now, I'm going to stay with that pick.
Okay.
Let's see how Saturday night unfolds. I may change it, but right now I've got Florida.
I think I'm going to – I was with you. I think I'm going to go Duke. I think they are a machine. I thought they would – I had them get put out early because I thought Cooper Flag going down with an injury would linger a little bit, but it did not.
It does not look like it has.
They are a machine.
Yeah.
And they have dudes everywhere. They're long. They're athletic, and they have a Dalton Knecht and Cooper Flag.
Yeah. They do.
I'm going to go with the best player left in the tournament, and that's Cooper Flag. Sorry, Auburn fans. It's not Janai Broom.
No, I mean, it's not. All right.
All right.
Where are we
Baseball.
at now? What a weekend. Paul Maneri. Is he retiring
Dude,
again?
Just retire.
He has to be thinking, I should have, right? Like, that's gotta be a thought.
South Carolina actually played a lot better than I thought they would. I thought they were dead in the water. I thought they would quit. Now they don't have a lot of pitching, but I think they can still hit it. The top of the lineup, I guess, can hit it. Everybody else not so much. But they did score some runs on Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee had their best weekend, but it was still a good enough weekend to get a sweep on the road, which is hard to do. Liam Doyle kind of ran into – he's had a couple rough outings. It's not been terrible. The strikeout numbers are up. He's just giving up some runs. But when Tennessee has a lineup that they do right now, it's like it's not the end-all be-all. It's good enough to win.
Right.
And you can kind of keep him going and stay in your – out of your bullpen. Like, you don't have to get into your bullpen with him just continuing to throw and throw strikes, even though he might give up some runs here and there. It's fine because he keeps you from getting that bullpen for the rest of the weekend. I thought Tanner Franklin pitched pretty well. Dylan Loy continues to look really good when he comes in relief. Hunter Inslee had a really good – he had a couple home runs. Andrew Fisher had some home runs. I thought Antigua looked great in the field, and he's handling the bat well enough to keep his spot. And then Bargo keeps hitting in SEC play, which is crazy because he couldn't hit in non-conference, but here comes the SEC, and the guy's insane. So
yeah, that's what it takes sometimes is firm up the competition. And yeah, I think Ariel Antigua is going to be just keep hitting well enough that it's impossible. Like, it's a hard decision to take you out of the lineup.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see when. I mean, Tennessee's doing this without their best hitter in Gavin Killen. When he comes back, I guess you go him at second base and you keep Antigua at second and Curley at third and Fisher at first. And, Marin has played well, but he looks kind of like your weakest link in the field at this point. And he's not lighting the world on fire in the box either. So I think you got to go with your best defensive lineup, and that's with Antigua instead of Marin.
Yeah.
Now, if Antigua's going 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts, yeah, maybe you make that change. But, with him handling the bat the way that he is, I mean, he had 3 RBIs, I think, on Friday night. Yeah, that big hit with 3 RBIs. He looks good in the bottom of that lineup. I like him batting ninth. He's getting on base enough and making it count when he needs to, but that glove is unreal.
Yeah. He's a fun guy to watch play baseball, and hopefully he's able to keep himself in the lineup.
And man, Hunter Inslee just keeps ripping the baseball. I mean, he went from a guy who was barely playing to a guy that might be all SEC this season. Like, even last year, I was like, yeah, he might hit like 280, 300, but that's probably where he's maxed out at. But he's a really good defender. But no, he's batting 380 right now. I mean, he looks good. He had 4 hits on Sunday. I mean, he's looking really good and confident in the box. And I think at some point somebody was like, yeah, we need to go Hunter Inslee maybe like 5th, but I don't want him hitting 5th. I want him hitting 3rd. I want him to get more ABs.
Right.
Hey, put him at 2nd. I wouldn't hate that. I know you're going to go like right, left, right. So you need a left-handed hitter in that 2-hole, but Hunter Inslee needs to be top 3 in the lineup. He's hitting that well right now.
Yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
Cannon Peoples on Saturday. It looks like he I mean, it was about time, but he left his mark and got Tennessee the win on Saturday with that big home run in the 9th. to put Tennessee up. And hey, we said we needed somebody to step up, and it looks like he is stepped up when Tennessee needed it. And I know he didn't hit just great on the weekend, but that was a big play when Tennessee needed it. And so I think for that, you got to keep playing him.
He's your guy from here on for now or until.
And it's like you see it. Like you're like, dude, you can hit. Just hit.
Yeah, just
it's such a mental game.
Just do it.
Yeah. Swing that thing. And then I really like Tegan Coons and Braden Krenzel on Sunday. Those two freshmen are going to be fun to watch.
Is that what it's going to be from? When is that like settled in? Is it settled in?
Yeah,
Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Coons is going to pitch good enough to win. He only had one strikeout, but he only gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run, 4 innings, and Krenzel comes in 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and 4 strikeouts. I mean, he was a guy from barely pitched in the non-conference to being a staple in Tennessee's bullpen on the weekends. It's pretty insane how much run he's gotten over the last couple weeks when he didn't really pitch much before then. But that's how you earn your opportunity and make the most of it. I think his opportunity came he pitched well against ETSU. He pitched really good against Florida. And you're like, okay, well, here you go. Here's Alabama. Here's South Carolina. And, he's made the most of it and looked really good doing it. That's kind of all I got for. Somebody did ask a question about baseball, and they asked who's Tennessee's best baseball player right now. I mean, I think it was Gavin Keelan at one point. I think right now it's hard to argue against Hunter Inslee.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it can't be Keelan at the moment, but
yeah, Hunter. To me, it's Hunter Inslee right now. Until I think Reese Chapman's having a really good year. I think Dean Curley's having a good year. I think Jay Abernathy is unreal too. Andrew Fisher is hitting the ball really well, seeing the ball well. But yeah, I got to go with Hunter Inslee until somebody proves me otherwise.
Yeah, that's fair. Tough midweek game. I assume Tennessee Tech's good as well, or good like they always are.
I mean, I'm sure they'll be all world.
Tuesday night they'll at least have it at the bare minimum.
Yeah, I think they're okay. I don't think they're anything special, but
yeah. And then Texas A&M. I think it's a big series just because you don't want to lose to the self-imploding team right
now. Yeah. I mean, they are desperate. I mean, their coach and Mingione from Kentucky were getting into it this past weekend about a curfew. Good God.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Because I also get his frustration. Also, I mean, you can't really blame Kentucky.
Yeah.
Also, you could have won it in that inning.
Yeah, also be better in the first couple innings. You don't have to worry about the freaking curfew. And it's in your favor. Yeah. I don't know. That, I mean.
Also, wear your school's colors. I don't know. Like, how hard is that?
Them hiring a guy just so guys didn't enter the portal and this is the year they're having. Yikes.
Yeah, probably time for those money guys to be circling the wagons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you wasted a lot of money on an up-and-coming coach just because you didn't want to lose Laviolette and Gavin Krahovac, Ron Prager, and another guy. You didn't want to lose those guys in the portal, but dude, I mean, you're going to lose everybody else in the portal after this year. I can't believe that. I mean, that's them in Florida. Florida being 1-8 in SEC play is crazy to me too.
Say that again. Sorry, I was blanked out. What?
Florida being 1-8 in SEC play as
yeah.
well is insane. Yeah, it should be a fun weekend. I mean, again, they're a desperate baseball team, and obviously there's some recent history with Tennessee and Texas A&M, obviously playing in the national championship, and I'm sure they want a little bit of revenge. I would, but yeah, they are not looking from preseason number 1 to unranked and being below 500 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough task. They did it. They're
crushing it.
Good for them.
I think they're
Beat the
bad.
odds somewhere.
They're batting like 260 right now as a team, which is not good. I think the best thing about them is they're
Is that on the season or in SEC play?
I think on the season.
So it's got to be worse than SEC play.
Oh yeah. Then their pitchers have pitched pretty well, but I mean, it don't matter when you can't score runs. Jace Laviolette can't do everything, but I guess he's trying to. Can't wait to see Caden Kent. We'll get his dad on the freaking broadcast all weekend, so looking forward to that.
Good. Is that what it said? The hat?
Yeah, good.
They're not great. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's confirmed. All right.
Yeah, they need to put one that says awful.
Any more questions?
I think we got to all of those. Yeah. We did ask a question this week on Twitter. We can go ahead and kind of ask that. Interested in your thoughts. Who's your breakout player for football this year?
Oh, I hope it's Mike Matthews. Oh, I hope.
I'm going a little different.
Okay.
I'm going Braylon Staley. I like the slot in this offense.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Staley.
I like it.
And I think right now he's played well enough where you're like, okay, I don't have to go get somebody out of the portal. Like this guy can get it done.
Sure.
And I think, you're also going to need some help from tight end too. So I think you could pick one of those guys as well. I mean, it's probably
Who
Ethan
do you think
Davis.
it is now. Yeah, I mean, I think
it's got to
be.
be. Yeah. My thing is I think we needed Miles Kitselman so much because our freaking tackles couldn't block, and he was great. But I would love for our tight ends not have to worry about blocking all the time and actually go out for a pass. That probably helps your quarterback out a little bit.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah, running two tights and having 7 guys protect your quarterback while 2 guys are running a route is not ideal at all.
Yeah.
Pretty easy for 7 DBs to cover 2 guys.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, I'm not I guess I am a finance guy, but I'm not great at math, but I feel like that's an easy win for the defense if you're doing that. So maybe it's Lance Hurd. Maybe this is his breakout year.
All right. Yeah, I like it. Chalk it up. I hope so. Money year, right?
Gotta be.
Oh, is he just a junior this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call it a money year. Let's see him go to the league next year.
I mean, I think it has, if you don't get your money's worth NIL-wise this year, what is the point in having him around?
Sure. Yeah. Fair
And I
question.
think that might be across college football. Like if these guys aren't good enough out of the portal to make something happen, why keep them around as dead weight?
See the best available. That's probably part of the reason.
Yeah, that might be it. But at some point, you got to recruit guys that can come in and play. Like if one guy's not getting it done, it shouldn't be the end all be all. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. We're just talking a little bit of football because, why not? We're sad, we're in mourning, but trying to change the subject a little bit.
Yeah. Good news. It was one of my most importance. The Tennessee 400 free relay broke its own NCAA record. Won a national championship. Shout out, boys.
I love that. Yeah.
Everything's cool.
I mean, if we're on that train, shout out girls. Lady Vol softball beat number
Oakland?
2. No, I think they
just beat them in the series.
Yeah, in the rubber match on the road at number 2 Oklahoma. Really big series for them. Also, Kim Caldwell getting a 5-year extension. Ugh.
Love to see it. Is that official?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Which I don't know what was her contract before.
I think it was 3 originally, I think.
Okay. So
yeah.
now she's 8 or she's 5?
A 5-year extension, I think, would imply 8.
8. Damn.
Extended to 5. Yeah.
Does 8 seem crazy?
Extended to 5 would make more sense.
Yeah.
8 seems crazy, but I mean, good young coach in the game. You got to get her more money. I'm sure that comes with the. Let's see. So she got extended 1 year through the 2030 season.
Okay. So she was a 3 year, so it went to a 4-year.
She signed a 5-year deal in April of 2024.
Okay, so she's got 5 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that initial tweet was not worded well. A 5-year, because wasn't it read as a 5-year extension? Wasn't that initial?
That's what I thought it was. I'm like, God. I mean, we're giving first-year coaches max contracts over here.
Okay, it was officially announced.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, 5 years. I don't think that's.
No, that's not. That's good for the program. I mean,
eight's a little much.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we were talking about if it went to 8, Chris.
Yeah.
If it went to 5 originally, even from 3 to 5 rather than 4 to 5, yeah. Like I think 5's the right to recruit, the right amount you want your coach under, especially your new coach, to go and recruit.
Yeah. Interested to see kind of who she gets out of the portal as well. She had a good portal class last year. I know she's got some talented incoming freshmen coming in, so excited to see kind of how she adapts to like not having to just go so portal heavy, and it's kind of the very opposite of the basketball team.
Yeah, right. All right. Anything else?
Who's the new Waggles people next year?
Oh, I don't know. Who is it going to be?
I think Jay Abernathy could be one of them.
Okay. Let's not talk about baseball. Let's not replace Hunter Inslee yet.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, probably Estrella, but what would Estrella's be? Rebounds?
Could it be Para's dunks?
Alley-oops?
Yeah. I don't know. And then do you go
Let's think on that. Let's bring
Lemons?
that to
Do you go
Thursday.
Cooper?
Maybe. Let's think on that for Thursday.
Okay.
Let's bring our proposal to Weigels on Thursday.
Okay.
And then we want to cut Weigels.
Absolutely.
Boswell threes? Could be Boswell threes.
I have been going to Weigels and getting my one thing and leaving. They've been losing money on me.
We can help you make more.
Now I do
Landon
fill
will
up my
start-
gas tank there a lot too, so I guess
Okay.
we're getting them back.
Landon will start making sure he buys one item, which is the goal of your promo, if you give us a cut. The little you scratch our back, we scratch your back.
Yeah. I'm in for that.
All right, we'll come up with it on Thursday.
And also, can we get something other than soda? Like I love the Gatorades, the soda thing. I'm just not a big soda person.
Shut up. All right, moving on. No, stop. You're asking too much.
Or get a replacement of some sort. Like, I mean,
No,
give me a water.
You're working too hard.
Give me a
Get
smart water.
Go to the tap.
Give me a smart water.
You can get water in their sink.
Give me a Propel.
No, Propels suck. I'll take a whatever that fresh spring water you got in there over Propel.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I mean, I get a Coke Zero for my wife. Or
yeah,
like
keep making your wife happy. Why is it all about you? Just let her be happy.
Well, most of the time they don't have Coke Zero in there. A 24 ounce is very specific. Okay,
It is. I think they do that on purpose because they're not always stocked. Because I've had to get Sprite a few times.
Yeah.
Some people beat me to the punch.
Yeah, you got to beat that church crowd usually on Sunday, which is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. What's Hunter Ensley's extra base hits? He's destroying that. We got to be. We got to load up this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but his is a Coke, which
it's fun. Yeah, stop it.
I mean, I'm basically I'm stalking for you. Like I'm.
If you want water, go to the lake. They don't have Dr. Pepper. I got asked Saturday while I was drinking a Coke.
So what do you usually get? A Coke Zero?
Coke or Sprite?
Just a regular Coke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regular Coke or Sprite.
I usually get a Sprite sometimes just because like I can mix that with stuff. Like a mixed
drink it on my way home.
I wish there was like a Sprite Zero or something. I'm not trying to no dark soda.
Is it beggars can't be choosers kind of deal? We're trying to work.
It kind of is. I am being a little
deal out with Weigels here, and you're just throwing them out. You're like you're at the car dealership. You listen. You're good. You break the salesman down. You get to the price. Then you're like, can you throw in all weather mats? Can you? How about one extra warranty before we sign this paper? I mean, you are breaking them down.
I'm ungrateful. I will admit it. I've been like that all night. My wife got on to me. She was like, I got Zaxby's, and first of all, she was just like, I opened the thing and I was like, oh, this is a boneless wing. I mean, it was half of something. And she was like, oh my gosh, like just eat it.
That is a little bit different. That's complaining about Zaxby's quality.
Well, and then
I'll give you that.
Well, then I was like, what happened to the Zax? They're being a little stingy with the Zax sauce. It was in a ramekin, like a plastic ramekin.
Weird. Never seen that.
She was like, yeah, they're out. And I was like, oh, I guess so. They put just a dab in there and that was it.
There's a place in Sevierville, Thai Basil, that I'm serious. It looks like someone I guess it'd be like the sweet and sour sauce. You put a spring roll in. Every time I get a spring roll, it looks like someone like drinks a little bit of it and just like, and whatever comes out is what they're giving. Like it's that much. It's that little. Like it doesn't look like they could possibly tip a bottle up or like, use one of those squirt containers. So the only logical conclusion I can come to is that is spit. That's that.
Okay, you just get a little Hawk Tua on that.
Yeah. No, not even a Hawk Tua. No, they're not a Hawk Tua in it.
Just
it's like it's just like all right. There's no way that little amount of liquid can come from anywhere else. I don't know, Chris. We ask that ourselves every episode. I mean,
yeah, it just happens. And now we're like, we just have baseball really, so it's gonna take a turn. Just get used to it.
Wetter.
But we got some good guests coming on here soon. Looking forward to it. Also, guys, go check out hoviedrygoods.com. Use promo code MORE for 15% off that first purchase. Just great people over there, great hats. They got some more coming out pretty soon. Let's go check them out. Again, use promo code MORE for 15% off that first purchase. And then go check out Roback, man. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Check them out. I see people wearing it all the time.
hoodie.
Save some money. Use that 20% with promo code More Important Issues. They got some Masters stuff coming out. They've got like a lot of other team stuff, not Tennessee. I wish Tennessee wouldn't be so damn stingy with their licensing, but they are. But go check them out. Again, I mean, some of the best polos. Their hoodies are great. I've never had anything I didn't like from Roback. So go check them out. Use promo code More Important Issues for 20% off that first purchase as well.
Yeah, go do it.
Do it. All right. We got any more most importance?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. I'm just going to briefly look. I probably won't find anything. Oh, I did see at Friends in Low Places, they do have the goal pad that Vanderbilt marched down Broadway after they beat Bama. It was pretty sick.
You saw the what? The goal?
The pad.
Oh.
Of the goal
Where
post.
was it at?
It was in Friends in Low Places.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they had it posted up at the top of the stairs.
How did they acquire that? That seems like a...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do that, but whatever. Yeah. I just got a alert that Garrett Crochet.
Okay.
He just got an extension.
Oh, nice. I mean, was he pitching when this happened?
Trying to find it. I just got an alert, but there's nothing on ESPN. What was the alert for?
I mean, 7 hours ago, it said pauses contract talks until after season. So okay. Yeah. No clue.
Okay, here it is. Are in agreement on a 6-year, $170 million contract.
Good for build the stadium. I mean,
by far the largest deal ever for a pitcher with 4+ years of service.
Danny, you better not ask us for money until you talk to him first. I mean,
that's true.
My word. Good for him.
Good for him, man.
Very happy for him. But also, don't do it. Don't ask us.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right. Anything else?
Balls. There's a signed ball somewhere up there.
Somewhere.
I think that's all I got.
All right.
Guys, thank y'all so much for listening. We do have one more read. You got it?
Yeah. Guys, make sure you all go and check out our friends at Grade A Grounds. You want to start your day with a fresh, locally roasted cup of coffee and make a difference while doing it? Grade A Grounds is more than just a great coffee. They are all about giving back. Right now, you can support an incredible cause by purchasing one of their special edition coffee bags featuring artwork from talented students and benefiting amazing organizations. And if you're a part of a school, team, church, or nonprofit looking for a delicious way to raise funds, they have got you covered. With their coffee fundraisers, your group keeps 40%, you heard me right, 40% of every sale, meaning more support for the things that matter most to you. Here's the best part for you listeners. For just being a loyal listener, they are giving you 10% off your order. Use the promo code MORE, M-O-R-E, at checkout and enjoy premium coffee while supporting a great mission. Head over to gradeagrounds.com. Grab your bag today. That's gradeagrounds.com. Don't forget to use the promo code MORE for 10% off. Drink great coffee. Make a great impact. Grade A Grounds coffee with a cause. Go do it.
Do it. Great people over there, too. Guys, thank y'all so much for listening. We'll be back on Thursday in studio. Check us out. and we're bringing the boat in, and we out.